Hey kids, it's Hyperdellic, and today we're gonna take a look at Ezra Bridger from Star Wars, the Black Series, but not the original Rebels Ezra Bridger, the new, more grown up, more cool, kind of hippy dippy Ezra Bridger, where he's like, I don't need a lightsaber, and then he was all like, and then eventually he made a lightsaber, and it was dope. I apologize. More grown up, more cool, kind of hippy dippy. There we go. Oh, sound's working. At least I know that. I know my video is a little choppy right now. I am in the process of working on this. I have to run physical cable. It's my Ethernet that is chopping up. I have to, because I'm currently on a wireless connection, so I have to put this on a wired connection. But I'm going to open up Ezra Bridger first, and then if we're lucky, I may do another live of Fei Long. I got the Ultra Street Fighter 2 Next Level Jedi Special Edition Fei Long. This is the one with the purple pants. Yeah, so kind of excited about that one. But I really like this version of Ezra Bridger, and I wanted to definitely get him in action figure format. I have a decent Black Series collection. It's probably about 30 or 40 some odd figures from the Black Series. I am pretty picky though, and I mean I know, like, for those of you that don't know, like, Black Series, saying I have 30 or 40 is like, oh, that's just a drop in the bucket. You know, it's like saying I have 30 Marvel Legends. Like, you're just like, yeah, but from when, and from, you know, what period, you know, like, do they have pins? Are they pinless ones? Blah blah blah. Oh boy. It's a can of worms that some collectors just don't even want to start, you know, opening up. But I definitely want to open this one up. We're just gonna take a look at the box art. Ooh, Ezra, looking all chic and cool. He's got like almost kind of like a samurai sword-ish looking hilt. And, supposedly that is just like Kanan's, his master's. Exiled to another galaxy after the final battle of Lothal, Ezra Bridger is rescued by his friend Sabine Wren on the ancient world of Peridia. Peridia. I think that's Peridia. I don't know. Whatever. And here's all of this stuff. And hello to anybody who's joined me. Thanks for joining me. That way I'm not opening my action figure all by myself. Boo-hoo. Alright, so here's all the, you know, legal stuff and mumbo-jumbo nonsense. Yada, yada. Made in China. Alright. So we're going to open this up. Alright, where do we open it up? At the bottom. Dun, dun. Dun 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 dun. Nothing but Star Wars for me and you. Right? See? You didn't know you were gonna get sand tonight. I got so much equipment right here in front of my face. It's I keep forgetting where to look. Right there is where I look. Right there. But then I've got like my monitors over here, and then I've got my second camera, the one that you're watching Ezra through. And I may switch these. I don't know. I'm still working on this setup. The one camera that's looking at Ezra is supposed to actually be a lot cleaner than I feel it is. I don't know if any of you guys watch this, are watching this now or watch this later, let me know, like, how the picture is. Like, is it clean? Like, are you seeing the details in this? I know it might not be as clean as my normal videos. The camera that I use is a very, it's a very good camera, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, it's my freaking iPhone 16 Pro. But the camera on that thing is amazing. I have a Nikon 3500 that I would use. I can't, it's not easy to use that for streaming. So I would never be able to use it for that. But if I didn't have the iPhone Pro, 16 Pro, I would more than likely have gotten or been using my Nikon if I didn't have the iPhone, because that iPhone is phenomenal. Like the camera on it, like even before that, even then, I was using a 12 Pro. My earliest videos are all done with a 12 Pro. Some of my supplemental stuff is done with a GoPro, as well as my Nikon 3500. I actually use the 3500 the least. Like I spent like $500 on that thing, and I still, like, don't get me wrong, I love it. Oh yeah, I'm all rashy right now because I'm allergic to the sun. So every time I get a suntan or any kind of sun, I get a little bit of a rash for a night. Yay me. Getting old sucks, kids. Don't do it. No. Get as old as you can. Honestly. Seriously. Get as old as you can. Life is beautiful. There are amazing things in life. You want to be a part of life. And I'm sure, and you might not even know it, but I'm sure there are people who appreciate that you are in their life. So, be good. Okay, so my first impressions, at first, what I wanted to do was be like, oh, this reminds me of those freaking Dungeons and Dragons figures. Because at first, that's exactly what this did. Oh, my wife is texting me about some stuff. I think it's beach umbrellas. We went to the beach today, and our umbrella situation was just sad. I tried to put up a camping rainfly, and unfortunately, I could not get it to stay in the sand, pegged in the sand. So we couldn't put it up. So we decided we needed to get a new umbrella, and so we're looking at a few on Amazon right now. So she keeps texting me with some. But yeah, at first my initial thought was like, oh man, this is gonna. When I first saw the photos of it, I was like, I really like this version of Ezra. I want this action figure to be good. And you know what? In hand, out of the package, in hand, I really like him. I'm pretty positive about this figure. Like, he is good. He has lots of really good articulation, and it's disguised, right? Like, he's got the Star Wars knees. I will say this much: G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends, as far as Hasbro properties, definitely have better legs and knees, I think, over Star Wars. But I like that Star Wars has a lot of its own style. There are no pegs that I see. If there are, they're hidden well. And then here, if you want to see the feet, let's see if we can get that to focus. Yeah, there we go. 2024 Hasbro. It's got pegs on the toes. And that's such a weird place to put pegs, right? Like, hello to the 3 people watching. Actually, to the 2 people watching, because one of those is my other account where I'm watching it just to see what's going on in the chat. But hello to those of you that are watching. Appreciate it. We're taking a look at Ezra Bridger from the Black Series. And okay, so first off, the skin tones, I like them. I think they're very clean. I like that. I know that like Ezra's the actor that portrays him. I think he's. I know I'm going to screw this up, but I think he's either Saudi or somewhere in the Middle East. He's from, I believe, but he. So he's got sort of a tan olive complexion, but he's got a very mild and very like colored, filled. Like how do I put this? There's hue to his skin tone, right? And I think they captured that pretty good here. I think they got the skin tone of the actor pretty well. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but to me, looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is clearly him. Like that's great. The face is pretty decent. Here, we'll get closer up on this. He kind of has like a bit of a Jesus or maybe Joseph. Like he looks like he could be Joseph in a Star Wars nativity scene. So let's talk about the articulation and let's discover it together. Head articulation. Let's see if we can pop that off. All right, so we got a ball peg, and then it's got this second post that moves. It can go side to side. All sorts of good stuff. Let's see if I can get that back on. All right, and as far as articulation goes, like he moves that far forward, he can go that far back, and like he's got plenty of side to side. Like I love that double neck situation thing. Whenever Marvel does that, or whenever Marvel sometimes does it as well. In fact, I think that new Spider-Man, the Maximum Spider-Man, has that. Yeah, I like a lot of times, like a lot of G.I. Joe have this, that double neck peg situation. I think it's a good form of articulation. Now, so it comes down to he's got waist articulation, and it's a ball peg waist, so he can go this way and that way and hula hoop around basically, which is good. I like it. This is a semi-loose piece. It is glued right around here. Let's see. Yeah, it's loose up until about there. And then it's glued right there. So if you wanted to do any kind of customizing, there's not a lot of glue. You could take that off and you wouldn't have that sash coming around. It looks like the same thing for his waist cover. This looks like it could come off. Let's see. I don't want to break him. Yeah, I'm not going to pop him apart. But it does look like the sculpt is divoted to accommodate the sash. So I guess I wouldn't really mess around with it. But if you come around, the sash does have a loop, and then so does the saber. So you can hang the saber from the loop. Although it's kind of gummy. So I mean, only do it if you're posing it on the shelf or something like that. Like, because you could easily lose that if you're throwing it in a bag or a pocket or something. Don't pocket fig Ezra with his saber on the sash. That was a mouthful. No sash saber. You don't want that. It's bad for you. Okay? All right. There we go. Okay, so aside from that waist articulation, he doesn't really... There's no movement in the chest anywhere. So that brings us to the arms and the shoulders. Shoulders, he can Looks like he can T-pose. Yeah, we can T-pose him. He's not quite a perfect T. He's a little bent down a little bit. But he's not terrible. And he does have butterflies. Right there, you see that? That butterfly joint. Alright. Brings us down to the elbows. I like the way that they do their elbows. I know that it might look very intrusive to some, but I think that that's actually a really clean, kind of classy way of doing an elbow. Sometimes when you got like a double elbow, there can sometimes this is a bad example because I think this is actually a really good figure, but like you see the double elbow, I'm like it's obviously broken up, and it can throw your eye when you're looking at it, and you know, kind of break the illusion. But this is a little different, you know. It I don't know. I kind of like it. Some figures it's really good on, some it's not. But it does swivel right there. He swivels. And then he swivels at the hand. And then what kind of hands do we have? We've got, looks like vertical rockers. So he can hold his sword aloft and say, by the power of the Jedi, I am Ezra Bridger. There can be only one. How many Last Jedis were there? I mean, seriously. So, his other hand is what? A horizontal? No, it's a vertical rocker too. All right, so he's got two vertical rockers, which brings us down to his hips. Now let's take a look at what he's got going on under the cloak. So right there, that's where the ball peg rotates. And then he's got a hip cut. Goes down to this knee. The knee has a boot cut. The knee also itself swivels. And then the hip swivels. Right? So you've got... They've packed a lot of articulation into the way that this is like laid out. And then the foot has some pretty good, pretty decent movement as well. It's not great, but it's definitely not like I thought it was going to be, like how the how the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves figures were, which I really wanted them to be great, and they mostly all suck. Like, I opened up that what was his name? I cannot remember. The dude that did the Old Spice commercials. He was he was that knight that was only in part of it, and set them on their quest. But his figure is really nice looking. I like it. It's pretty good. But there's still something like missing as far as that whole line. Like it's almost like they phoned it in, which is a shame, because if they had done better and done more figures and more monsters and stuff like that, they probably could have sold a crap ton. But it's like half the time they don't, like most of these companies, the toy companies, they don't know. If they say they know their customer base, but I don't think they really do. Like they say they know us, but I mean, sometimes they don't. Remember the snake lair? Anybody a Motu fan? Remember that thing? They didn't know us at all on that one. But anyways, so Ezra has that crazy knee, boot cut. The whole thing is pretty phenomenal. Let's see. Can he do splits? He can't, but man, can he do some crazy things with his legs? So no Jean-Claude Van Damme today. But there's his ball pegs. You want to see that situation? I absolutely love this figure. I think he's an excellent figure. I really want to get the newer Ahsoka too. I have the dark gi Ahsoka, and I need to get the light gi. I believe it's the exact same figure, just done as a variant. And I promised myself that I was not going to have Star Wars variants, but I may change my mind for like Luke and possibly Mando, depending on the editions and versions and things that happen. But yeah, I think overall, I'd give this figure a 9. Maybe I'm gonna try and start being a little bit more realistic when it comes to my my grading. So like first we're going to talk about the paint apps. All of the paint applications are spot on. They are on point. They look fantastic. Like it doesn't look like here I take my glasses off and even do the old man close up look. What does it look like? And it looks really good. Like it even looks like there's a wash on the cloak. The camera doesn't really show it that great, but it looks like there's a wash on the cloak. It doesn't, like, there's not, I don't see, I mean, maybe just a little bit, like, right there. Like, right there. But, like, man, that's not even, you can barely see that. Yeah. You can't, it doesn't even show up on my camera. But the paint all looks really clean, really good. It's funny, like with Hasbro, sometimes I'll get a figure that suffers from some atrocious QC, and sometimes I'll get a figure that's that's got some excellent QC. This looks to be one of the latter. It's clean, it's very well put together. I'm pretty happy with that. So like, I would give it a 10 when it comes to the paint applications. I would give it maybe a 7 when it comes to articulation, because though it does have some good articulation, like this area, the butterfly, I think I could have done without a butterfly on Ezra. Although he does do that double-handed stance sometimes. So, like, I guess maybe it was sort of necessary. I don't know. But like I said, like, yeah, I don't know if I don't think I like that. So I'd probably give it a 7 when it came to articulation. As far as design goes, I think that it is extremely accurate to the Ahsoka TV series version of him. Right down to details on the lightsaber that like looked like they were straight up, lifted out of the series. Now, as far as realism goes, it does well, but just because it's highly detailed doesn't mean that those highly detailed bits are still ultra realistic. This is not a 3-0 figure or a what is it? What is the one brand or Hot Toys? This is not Hot Toys. Like, but for the $25 price point that most Star Wars figures are still at, I think the value is pretty decent. I think it's pretty good. I think he's an excellent purchase, like as far as action figures go. I'm actually pretty stoked to add him to my Jedi collection. Like I love getting new Jedis. Lightsabers are awesome. Big laser swords are the coolest thing ever. I mean, come on. And the Ahsoka series wasn't, for me, it wasn't so much the Ahsoka series. It was the end of Rebels is what Ahsoka has been for me. It is the wrapping up and tying up of Rebels like stuff, but it's being told through Ahsoka Tano's eyes. So I mean, and that's fine. I like Ahsoka. Don't get me wrong. I like Ahsoka. I like Rosario Dawson. Uh, I like the series. I know some people are griping. I'm like, oh, it's not that great. Hey, look, it's not Mandalorian, okay? I will say that much. But the stuff with Thrawn and the stuff with Ezra, I'm like, yes, I love it. It's so good. When he takes his helmet off, and and freaking Chopper already knew that it was him. I loved that. That was so good. That was so good. Like, it was just like, yeah, it's his boy. So, like, it made me extremely happy. So I loved that. Rebels is a fantastic series. If you have never watched Star Wars Rebels, and you're a Star Wars fan, like, I highly recommend it. If you've never given it a chance and you're like, oh, it's a cartoon, it gets real deep in the Star Wars lore. Like, this is where Dave Filoni started at, and this was the first time they really gave him a chance to put stuff together. And man, he knocked it out of the park with it. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. But having said that, I think overall, I would probably give this figure an 8.5. I'm not going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it an 8.5. 1, he's not the mainline figure. 2, he's not the awesomest figure ever. Like I said, like, I'm not a big fan of how this shoulder is looking. It looks weird. I don't know what the heck is going on there, but it feels like it's use of a butterfly, and maybe it shouldn't have been. But aside from that, I love this figure. I am going to treasure it up on my shelf next to my other Rebels, now Ahsoka blend over series post. Not you, Siri. No, never mind. Yeah, I triggered SIRI. Post Jedi Star Wars stuff. I am really digging the Ahsoka series. Some of the stuff that we've seen in Star Wars has been rough, huh? Right? Like freaking what was that one? Acolyte. And before anybody says anything, oh boy from Squid Game was phenomenal in that show. I thought he did a great job. He was one of my favorite characters in that whole entire series. But that series was pretty rough. What else was that was one. Andor, I came around to Andor season 2. I watched season 1 and I was still like, meh. And season 2 kind of kept me sucked in. I was like, oh, okay, well, I got to see how this ends. I liked it. People call it Star Wars for grown-ups, and I mean, like, I guess, right? Is it Star Wars for kids or for grown-ups? Just because it's more dramatic and gritty and harsh. I mean, I guess you could say it is, but I'm a grown adult, and I mean, I think my tastes are fairly sophisticated when it comes to stuff. It's not all ow my balls for me. the show from Idiocracy. I like the pew pew of Star Wars. That's what I go to Star Wars for, is cool Jedi fight scenes and pew pew. And the first season of Andor didn't have nearly enough pew pew. And it got darker. They threw some like drug stuff in there and all kinds of other stuff. And I don't know if I needed the drug stuff. You know, like it just wasn't necessary as far as I'm concerned. But it was good. I did like it by the end of it. But I like more of the aliens and starships and fighting and the mysticism and lore of Star Wars. Not so much the tactical battle history of it all. You know, like that's not my jam. but but I am looking forward to a lot of the Star Wars that is supposedly coming. Ahsoka season 2, I'm very excited for. What else was it? The battle or Starfighter or whatever the heck it is with Ryan Gosling. That sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Like there's just all kinds of stuff that it's like, wow, okay, yeah, I'm down. I mean, I was down with a bunch of other stuff before too, but boy, they really jumbled that stuff. All right, so that is Ezra Bridger. I give him an 8.5. I think he's pretty good. He's as of today, July 22nd. He is still available on Hasbro.com. I think you can get him also on Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, but don't quote me on that one. You know, seek it out. I'm sure you'll find it. I'm sure Ezra is not, pulling down like $80 a figure right now. So he's probably doing all right. Like, not like Chopper, my boy here. Chopper's been pulling in some good prices lately. All right, so what did I say? I said, well, we'll finish up with Ezra. Overall, I like Ezra Bridger a lot. He is definitely one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. I like his innocence. But I like that he is not just innocent, but he's also conflicted and, hurt and broken, just like a lot of other people. That's my iced tea. When Rebels first came out, I was like, I am not going to watch this cartoony crud. Like, this is lame. I don't want this. But I think I was sick one day, and I was like, I'm just going to leave it on. It's easier. And it turned out to be one of my new favorite Star Wars things. I love a lot of the crossover that happens in Star Wars with other properties. Like, I love that, like, there have been so many Doctor Who cameo, like, was it the Bendaroo or whatever? The Bendaroo, the gray Jedi entity. That was Tom Baker, the fourth Doctor? Fourth or fifth, one of those two. I want to say it was the fourth Doctor. But yeah, he, from Doctor Who. David Tennant plays Yinlang? The robot that or the android that helped Ezra build his lightsaber, as well as apparently Kanan Jarrus's lightsaber as well, because he's been around for, I guess, a couple thousand years, I think. But yeah, gotcha. Okay. Hang on. Is it working? Ah, what is happening? I gotta like reconfigure my stuff. Ah, man. Well, I guess I'm gonna cut it there. And then I'm gonna do another one right in just a few minutes. So we'll come right back to Fei Long. That'll give me some time to have a quick snack and get something to drink in me. But when I return on the next stream in just a few minutes, I'm going to open up Ultra Street Fighter 2 by Jedi. Next level. Dude, I'm excited for this one. All right, I'll meet you guys over there.